Okay, so today we're going to be taking a look at another 10 Wonderkids. Today we're going to be looking at Erling Haaland first. He's now 31 years old in this save. In 110 appearances for the Norwegian national team, scoring 133 goals, which is like an insane record for a national team. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Never really seen that. He's on 450k a week, still at Manchester City. His stats are insane. Yes, 6'5", extremely strong, extremely fast, really good natural fitness, really good jumping reach, balance, agility, acceleration. Like his physicals are insane. His work rate isn't that high. His positioning doesn't really matter. His off the ball is really good. His concentration is really good. He's really composed in front of goal. He's really good anticipation, really good finishing, really good first touch. Pretty decent dribbling, considering he's 6'5" as well. Really good heading, really good at taking free kicks, which I didn't really expect, to be honest. I've never really seen him take a free kick. Good long shots, good passing, really good penalty taker, really good technique as well. He stayed at Man City his entire career on this save, the full 10 years. His highest goal scoring record in the Prem was 22 goals. Which I was kind of surprised. I've seen some people say that he's scored like 70 goals in the entire season, not obviously just in the Prem, but like in the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, like all the cup competitions combined. In some people's saves he scored 70. He ended up getting like a 7.7 rating in this latest season, getting 22 goals, 5 assists, and 10 player of the matches, which is really nice. And I think his highest goal scoring season in all competitions was like 40. He ended up scoring 36 in the first season, 32, 36 again, 27, 26, 23, 33, 40, 29 and 33. So yeah, his highest goal scoring season in my save was 40 goals, which is, still like a really nice season, right? But considering in real life, I think he's on track to do that in his first season at Man City. With how he's playing currently, he's like literally breaking records pretty much. But kind of surprised that he didn't really do as crazy as I've seen in other people's saves. Where yeah, like I said, he scored like 70 goals in one season for some people that I've seen on Reddit and stuff. But yeah, so that is Erling Haaland. He's described as a legendary striker. His current ability goes up to 194, which means he's like literally Messi level. I'm pretty sure that's the exact same that Messi has. But yeah, it's really good. The next person we're going to look at is Aurelien Tchouameni. Stays at Real Madrid his entire career in this save. He's 32 years old with 136 appearances for the French national team. He's on 400k a week at Real Madrid, yep. His physicals are really nice. Good stamina, really good natural fitness, good jumping reach, good balance, good agility. His mentals are really insane actually. It's really nice work rate, really good vision, really good positioning, decent teamwork, really good decision making, concentration, composure, bravery, anticipation, aggression. His marking's pretty good, his passing's really good, his tackling's really good, his technique's really good. Long shots are really nice as well. He's a good header of the ball. 6'2", he's got a good jumping reach which pairs with his heading. He's got a good first touch and pretty decent at dribbling. That could be a little bit better, but it's not bad to be honest. So his current ability in the save is 180, which makes him like one of the best centre midfielders in the world for sure. Like definitely top 3 minimum. So at Real Madrid we can see that one season he gets 5 goals, 13 assists in the league, then 5 goals, 10, 1 goal, 16 assists. That amount of assists from a midfielder just in the league alone is pretty absurd. He's got 7 goals, 13 assists, 2 goals, 5. He had a drop off that year, but he still averaged a 7.1 rating. Then 4 goals, 6 assists, 5 goals, 14, 5 and 5, and then 4 and 14. But yeah, clearly just a world-class centre midfielder, becomes one of the best centre midfielders in the save, probably top 3 for sure. 6'2", really good like physicality and technicality. Plays all the games, literally every game for Real Madrid actually. Made 12 appearances in the Champions League for them as well. But yeah, he's just a world-class player. The next person we're going to look at is Jude Bellingham. He is now 28 years old in the save, made 118 appearances for the English national team. He's on 325k a week at Liverpool. 6'1", really good stamina, really good pace, really good natural fitness, really good balance, really good agility, really good acceleration. He's described as a legendary midfielder, which is, yeah, I mean, it's insane. I'll show you his current ability in a second. It's pretty nuts. Really good aggression, really good anticipation, really good bravery, really good flair, pretty decent leadership, pretty decent off the ball movement as well. That's quite nice. Really good teamwork, really good vision, really good work rate, really good technique, good tackling, good marking, really good passing, really nice long shots, good heading to pair up with his jumping reach, really good first touch, really good dribble of the ball. He's got good finishing as well, decent crosses of the ball. I mean, he's got everything that you need pretty much. But yeah, described as a legendary midfielder, and his current ability is 176, so it's a little bit below Tchouameni, but I mean, he's still like one of the best midfielders in the world, and he's insane. And he's only 28 years old as well, so he's still home for like another 4 years pretty much. But yeah, so he's at Dortmund in real life, does really well for them, actually a 7.2 rating, 7.3, has a little drop off one season, then has a 7.1 again the season after that, earned himself a £105 million move to Liverpool, where he gets 4 goals, 10 assists in his first season, 6 goals, 2 assists in the next, 4 goals, 4 assists, and 10 goals, 9 assists in his recent season with an average rating of 7.46, which is pretty nuts. And I mean, he's only just hit his prime as well, which is insane to think that that's 10 years into the future. But yeah, he plays every single game for Liverpool, he's world class, and becomes one of the best midfielders in the world. The next person we're going to look at is another Liverpool player, which is Curtis Jones. He's 31 years old now in this save, and he's at Juventus. He says he can play left wing, centre midfielder, cam, right wing, or even DM. He's made 27 appearances for the English national team, scored 3 goals. He's on 195k a week at Juventus, like I said. He's got really good agility, decent balance, decent pace, decent stamina, decent acceleration, really good composure, really good flair, really good vision, really good work rate, teamwork, good off the ball movement, good decision making, concentration, anticipation, decent dribbler of the ball, decent first touch, really good passing, really good technique, really good penalty taker as well actually, decent marking, decent long shots. Yeah, he's an all-round pretty solid player. He's not as good as the previous two midfielders that we've shown so far, but I mean, he develops into like a very competent midfielder for sure. And yeah, I mean, he's like a world-class centre midfielder. Definitely not like elite like Tchouameni and Bellingham, but I mean, he is completely fine if he played for any team in the world for sure. But yeah, so he stays at Liverpool for around 4 seasons. Doesn't really get given a chance at all. Ends up going to Juventus for 40 million, and okay, wait, that's a lie, sorry. He did get given a chance at Liverpool, did pretty average. I thought, for some reason I was looking at this column. Yeah, so he becomes a pretty regular starter for Liverpool. Doesn't do very well at all, to be honest. Doesn't even hit a 7 average rating. Ends up getting a £40 million move to Juventus, where he does way better. In his first season he gets 10 goals, 3 assists with an average rating of like 7.3. Then the season after that improves on that, gets 10 goals, 12 assists with an average rating of 7.5. Then gets 10 goals, 5 assists with a 7.36 rating, and 11 goals, 13 assists with a 7.5 rating. And yeah, he becomes a world-class midfielder with he's a very well-rounded technical, mental and physical stats. He's got decent height, decent physicality, very good technically, and yeah, becomes a world-class centre midfielder. The next person I'm going to look at is I'm literally just going to say Mudryk, because I'm going to butcher that first name. Don't really know how to pronounce that, but in real life I know he's a potentially going to go to Arsenal, which is the team I support, which is pretty exciting. I'm not going to pretend like I know much about him other than the fact he's extremely highly rated by them, and they want a pretty high sum. But yeah, I've never watched him, so I can't say how good he's in real life, but yeah, I know he's very well thought of. He's now 31 years old in this save. He's made 76 appearances for the Ukrainian national team, can play left wing or right wing preferably. He's really fast, really agile, decent strength. It's pretty nice strength for someone that's 5'9". That's pretty good. Pretty good vision, pretty good off the ball movement, really good flair, decent decision making, decent composure, decent anticipation, good cross of the ball, really good dribbler, good finishing, really nice first touch, pretty good at taking free kicks, which is always nice, really good passer of the ball, decent penalty taker, and really good technique. But yeah, he's still at Shakhtar Donetsk, which is a bit nuts. I mean, he's a world-class player. Yeah, he's a world-class player that's still at Shakhtar Donetsk, which is a bit nuts. He's described as an elite winger in the game as well, so I'm kind of surprised that he stayed there the entire time. But I mean, yeah, he's insane in this league, right? Gets a 7.6 rating, then another 7.6, a 7.4, 7.5, 7.5, 7.3, 7.45, 7.4, a 7.6, and a 7.5 rating. Maybe his asking price was like extremely high, I guess, because I don't know why no teams ever picked this guy up when he's been excelling in this league for like years and years. I'm not really sure like how much this guy would cost for you to sign in the early years of the game. But I mean, if he could, then clearly he becomes a world-class player, based off his current ability and the fact that he's been extremely good for Shakhtar Donetsk. But yeah, and he's described as a elite winger. The next person we're going to look at is Darwin Nunez. He's 32 years old. He's now at Chelsea, I might say, which is a bit weird, because he's at Liverpool in real life. But his value is anywhere between 700k to 2 million at 32 years old. But this one's a bit shocking. I've already kind of like looked at this guy. So yeah, he's made 108 appearances for the Uruguayan national team, scoring 51 goals, which isn't bad to be honest. It's nearly like 1 in 2, which isn't bad at all. But yeah, so he's 6'2", pretty fast, pretty agile, really good jump and reach, pretty good natural fitness, decent strength, could be a bit higher but it's okay. He's got really good work rate, really good teamwork, decent vision, really good off the ball movement, decent flair, pretty decent concentration, really brave, really aggressive as well, which is definitely true in real life. That should probably be a little bit higher maybe, which is a bit mental, but really good penalty taker, really good technique, really good passing, good long shots, good heading, good finishing, good dribbling, good crossing. But yeah, this one's a little bit shocking. I didn't really expect it to be as bad, right? But yeah, his current ability is 146, which means like he's literally just a regular starter in the Premier League. He's not really that great. But yeah, he could definitely do a job, but it's a bit nuts how badly he did in this save. But look at the clubs he's gone to, but he's never done well. So yeah, he's gone to Liverpool in real life, obviously. Scored 13 goals, got 1 assist, which isn't bad for your first season in the Prem. And I mean, it's not even bad getting 13 goals in the Prem anyway. But the season after that must have been... Oh, okay, he got loaned out to PSG the season after that. Only made 8 appearances for them, with a 7.3 rating, which is pretty good, but it's in 8 appearances, right? He then moves to PSG for 22 million. Scores 3 goals in 21 games for them, which is pretty terrible, with a 6.8 rating. The season after that, he only plays 3 games, gets bought by Chelsea for 50 million. Scores 5 goals, gets 3 assists, which is not good at all. He then gets 5 goals the season after that, 5 goals again, then 11, then 5, then 5, then 2. So yeah, he's been a pretty big flop in this save, to be honest. And like I said, only becomes a regular star for Premier League teams. I wouldn't say he's top 6 at all. He'd be lucky to even play for West Ham, to be honest. I don't know, he's like a really average player in this save, which is kind of surprising, but yeah. just doesn't develop at all. I don't really know why, because he does play quite a lot in his like later years. But yeah, it's kind of weird to be honest. But yeah, next we're gonna look at Armel Bella-Kotchap, who I believe is at Southampton in real life. Yeah, they only got for 8.5 million. Wow. Okay, so he's now 30 years old in this save. The Cameroonian has made 57 appearances for the national team. He's wanted by Newcastle in the save at 30. But yeah, so he's 6'3", centre back. Pretty good acceleration, pretty good balance, really good jumping reach. That's really nice. 6'3", pairs with that well, and his heading's 14. That's really good for a centre back. It's like one of the key stats you want to look at. Really fast, really good strength, really good anticipation, good bravery, good concentration, decision making, really good defensive positioning, which is really nice. Pretty decent work rate, good tackler, good passing, good marking, good heading, good first touch, pretty good dribbler as well. His vision, passing and technique, technique's really good. So you could play him as a ball playing defender. He's a perfect centre back. Honestly, he's 6'3", really good aerially and really good technically. So he's like a perfect centre back. If you want to play him as a ball playing defender, he's a I'd say like a leading Serie A player for sure. Like anywhere above 150 is like a pretty solid player in my opinion. So yeah, he's a very competent player for sure. So he's at Southampton in real life, does really well for them in the second season, getting a 7.3 rating in the Championship. They end up getting promoted back to the Prem. He gets a 7 rating, a 7.1, a 7 again, and a 6.85 and a 7 rating again. A team that I presume didn't do that well. 19th, yep, second in the Championship, 19th, 14th, 13th. It's like a mid-table, like barely even mid-table Prem team, where he's averaging a 7 rating, which is completely fine considering his team is probably going to be conceding way more goals because he has a lot of bad players around him. But yeah, so he goes to AC Milan for £32 million, then gets a 7.3 rating straight away, which is a big improvement. Doesn't go. Plays his second season at AC Milan, gets a 7.4 rating. Does quite decent. He doesn't really play much though at all. Then the season after that, he just used quite sparingly with a 7.15 rating. But in my opinion, this guy is like really good. You could probably get him for a decent price, and he'd be a solid player for you for sure. Definitely a very good ball playing defender with extremely nice aerial abilities and technical abilities. He's just all round a really good centre back. The next person we're going to look at is Mudryk. I believe he's at Arsenal in real life. I'm pretty sure he is with us. But yeah, he's now 30 years old in this save. Centre back. He's made 77 appearances for the Tunisian national team. He's at Barcelona on 220k a week, which is pretty nuts. But yeah, so he's 6'1", pretty decent acceleration, balance, jumping reach isn't bad at all. Good pace, good strength, good vision. That's really nice vision for a centre back. Really good anticipation, composure, concentration, decision making, flair, leadership, off the ball. His defensive position is really nice. Okay teamwork, okay work rate. Really good at tackling, decent at passing, decent at marking. Really good heading, which pairs up with his jumping reach and his height really nice. Decent long shots for a centre back as well. Not really that makes too much of a difference in centre backs, but it's always a nice stat to have for sure. He's got a good first touch and pretty decent at dribbling, so yeah, he could also be a really solid ball playing defender for you. In the save, he reaches a leading La Liga player standard. He's at Barcelona, right, and he's just very good. In the save, 3 years into the future, he gets bought for £10 million. So maybe this is someone that you could pick up for quite a decent price that would be like great for your squad for sure. Like I think he'd be completely fine. But yeah, so he never gets given a chance at Arsenal. Ends up going to Lazio for 10 million. Is a regular starter for Lazio. Does okay, not too crazy. Then earns himself a £30 million move to Barcelona, which is where he still currently is. Gets a 7 rating, another 7 rating, where he gets sparingly used that season. Maybe he was injured a bit. But the season after that gets a 7.3, and then a 7.1 and a 7.1 rating. But yeah, I mean, clearly this is someone that develops very well, becomes a extremely good ball playing defender. You might be able to get for a decent price later on into your save, for sure. And he'd be a brilliant squad player if you're a top Champions League team, or if you're a middle of the pack team. He would be an excellent centre back for you that you could get on a lower budget, for sure. The next person we're going to look at is Rasmus Højlund. He's 29 years old in this save at Chelsea. He's made 80 appearances for the Danish national team, scoring 51 goals. He's on 180k a week, with a transfer value of anywhere between 23 to 70 million pounds. 6'3" striker, pretty decent acceleration, good agility, good balance, good jumping reach, really pretty fast as well, and really good strength, which is nice. He's got really good off the ball movement, really decent work rate, good decision making, good concentration, composure, bravery, anticipation and aggression. They're pretty nice, well-rounded mentals. They could be a little bit higher for sure, but they're not bad at all. His finishing's really good, passing's okay, technique's okay, his long shots are nice, his heading's nice, which pairs up with his height and jumping reach pretty well, so he's pretty good in the air for sure. His first touch is pretty good, his dribbling's pretty good, and his crossing isn't bad. He's a leading Premier League striker as well at Chelsea, and I think you can get this guy for a decent price. So in the save, he ends up getting bought by Real Betis for £11 million, which shows that you might be able to get him for quite a reasonable price early into the save for someone that ends up becoming like a pretty solid player. Ends up playing for Real Madrid and Chelsea, right? So he must be a pretty decent player. But yeah, so goes to Real Betis, does okay for them, scores 6 goals in 13 appearances, which is like practically 1 in 2, which is really good. Then the following season becomes a regular start for them, gets 13 goals, which isn't bad, then scores 5 and 15, gets a £33 million move to Real Madrid, which is a pretty decent price to be fair, and becomes like quite a regular start for them, which is a bit surprising because he's not like insane that you'd play him for them. He's usually back up in his first season, scores 8 goals in 13 games with a 7.4 rating, which is pretty nice. So yeah, he was used as like a impact sub maybe, or a just quite sparingly when they wanted to rest their main players. But I mean, he's still Real Madrid, right? So clearly he's quality. He makes 24 appearances the season after that, scoring 7 goals with a 7.1 rating. Then in his final season at Real Madrid, he scores 15 goals in 28 games with a 7.4 rating. He then gets a £55 million move to Chelsea, scores 8 goals in 17 games, 8 goals in 13, which is really nice. I don't know how he gets such a low rating if he's got 8 goals in 13. But then becomes a somewhat regular start for Chelsea, scoring 9 goals in 23 games. But yeah, for someone that you can get for like £11 million, like 1 year in, 2 years in maybe, and then down the line it's only £33 million, you might end up being able to get this player for reasonably cheap from Atalanta, and becomes a solid player for most teams in the world. He's a like leading Premier League player for sure, and he's a very competent, well-rounded player, really good aerially and decent technically. So yeah, again, if you are like a middle of the pack striker, this could be something that you get for a reasonably cheap price that could be extremely good for you. And the last person we're going to look at is Fabian Rieder. The Swiss international is 30 years old and has made 49 appearances for the national team. He's at Barcelona on 105k a week. The centre midfielder can play cam as well. Decent pace, decent agility, decent natural fitness, decent stamina, pretty good vision, really good decision making, really good concentration, really good composure, really good anticipation, good flair, good off the ball movement, which is really nice, decent teamwork, decent work rate. She's got really good technique, really good passer of the ball, decent at tackling, could be a little bit higher to be fair, but really good passing, really good vision. You'd probably use him as a advanced playmaker or deep line playmaker, I'd presume. His technique's really good, first touch really good, long shots are really nice, free kicks pretty good, really good at dribbling, really good at crossing, and really good at corners. I'd probably use this guy as a playmaker, either a advanced playmaker or a deep line playmaker, as his work rate and natural fitness are decent for sure, but I'd like them a little bit higher if I want a box-to-box midfielder at a elite level anyway, because they definitely aren't bad stats, but I'd want them a little bit higher. And yeah, I'd want to make use of his great passing, great vision technique, so I'd definitely play him as a playmaker of some sorts. So yeah, he reaches a leading La Liga level. He's definitely a quality all-round player. He is at Young Boys in the save, which I presume means that you could get him for a decent price, right? Like 4 years into the save, Barcelona picked him up for £20 million. Maybe you could get him for cheaper. Earlier on into the save, for somebody that, yeah, again, if you are a middle of the pack team, he is a quality player. I mean, he's gone to Barcelona in the save, right, and been a pretty regular starter for £20 million, which shows that he's clearly a quality player. But so he does pretty decently at Young Boys. Ends up going to Barcelona for £20 million. And does pretty decently for them. He's a regular starter for Barcelona. Averages like a 7 rating pretty much. Could definitely be higher for sure. But yeah, like I said, if you are a team with a lower budget, this is a very competent, well-rounded player. That would be a very good playmaker. And yeah, this is going to be the last person we're taking a look at in this save. Hope you enjoyed the video. If there is anybody that you want me to take a look at in the future videos, then just leave them in the comments, because yeah, I'm literally just going through all of the future Wonderkids. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, and I make plenty of Wonderkid content, plenty of player-free content. I would be doing tactics videos and tips and tricks in future videos as well. It's just got to get round to doing that. But yeah, thanks for watching.